Yesterday, I was emailing a bride of mine for this year about something totally different, and her response back to me was so sweet. And she was telling me how she was sitting in her sweatpants with her tea on the couch and emailing me back, and it was just so fun. And I thought, you know what? Today, I'm not wearing sweatpants, but I mean, my sweater is fuzzy enough, don't you think? But I am gonna sit with my coffee. It's decaf though. Did you know that I don't drink caffeinated things? I mean, I can now on occasion when I've eaten something, but caffeine makes me anxious. It's just not great. So I don't drink coffee, like regular coffee anymore, which if you knew me even just a few years ago, you would think, what the heck has happened to Lorelei Smid? Definitely drank coffee like a Gilmore Girl for a long time, but now I just drink decaf. So I'm here with my decaf coffee and my fuzzy sweater, and I thought we would just have a little bit of a life chat. Hey, I'm Laura, and this is Becoming Gold, a Catholic marriage podcast for people helping each other on the road to heaven. Gold shines because of what it's gone through to be purified, and this is where you can hear about all of it. The refining fire, the resulting beauty, and the grace received to notice God at work in the midst of it all. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Laura Ann Smid, and I help Catholic couples navigate engagement so they are present and prepared for their wedding day and life as newlyweds. That's a mouthful. One more for good measure. Okay. Today, instead of a wedding planning tip or some marriage prep advice or stuff to do about being a newlywed, I just wanted to talk about a few things that have been going on in my life for the past little while. I am off Instagram for Lent this year, and I'm loving it. No, that's not a question. That's a statement. I'm loving it. But it means that I don't get to see you or talk to you as much as I have been in the past. I have had a great time with my Becoming Gold community, getting to chat with them about all things wedding planning and marriage prep and newlywed life, like all these things. But I haven't really been talking about what's going on in my life, and I thought, let's have a little life chat. So, the thing that I wanted to talk about Lent, I mean, yeah, I'm off Instagram, but apart from that, my husband Brandon and I have actually been doing, we chose to do something together, to do a few things together, but the one thing that I'll talk about is that we got rid, oh my gosh, there's a hair in my mouth. You know when you got a hair in your mouth and you're like, you can feel it, but you can't get it? If you're watching on YouTube, you'll think I'm crazy right now, but I hope it's gone. So, Brandon and I are doing something together for Lent. Okay. Let me get my bearings. You know what? Let me have another sip of my little. Yeah, okay. Now, Brandon and I gave up Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, anything that you can watch shows or movies on. We're just not watching anymore. We usually don't have all of those things at once. We kind of pick one and then watch whatever's on that platform for a while and then switch to another one. And recently we have been watching a lot. I mean, I think for the past 2 years we've been watching a lot of shows because what else was there to do? But particularly for us because it's just the two of us. We don't have kids. And our evenings, we're pretty much homebodies. Even before the pandemic, we were homebodies. So having a show to watch was great. It filled our evenings. Definitely in the last 2 years, for sure. Having a show or multiple shows, or series, or watching Marvel, all of them. We we're definitely in a pattern of filling our time with story, but not necessarily story that was inspiring or educational or, that kind of thing. So we said for Lent, let's get rid of them. And I have to tell you that for a while it was really difficult because it showed me in particular, how much I relied on media to soothe myself. Can you believe it? So I work from home alone, and I just got a glimpse of my background. And I'm going to share all about this after this. But okay, so I work from home and I work alone, and there are no other grown-ups to talk to. So at my lunchtime, I'll often watch an episode because there are grown-ups in TV. I can hear a grown-up voice. So I'll watch an episode at lunch. And then while I make dinner, I would just put on a show. My recent show of choice was Castle. It's on Disney Plus, and I remember watching it when it was actually on TV. And I just really I like mysteries. I like interesting, twists and turns of stories and all that. But I was watching it a lot. And I don't think that's great. I don't think there's anything wrong with entertainment. There's nothing wrong with entertainment. But when it becomes so habitual that it's weird to do life without that thing, I think then there's maybe a problem. So the first week and a half probably of Lent I was a little lost. At lunchtime, I was like, there's no, so I tried to call people at lunch, but my friends live in different time zones, or they're putting their kids down for naps, or are at work themselves. It's just wasn't super ideal. And then I started listening to podcasts, and then I started just playing music, or now I just have lunch silently. Although today I will admit that I watched some American Idol auditions on YouTube. It was kind of like music, but not. So maybe that doesn't really count. But anyway, that's been interesting from a personal perspective. And then for the two of us being, having been so entrenched in this habit of watching shows in the evenings after dinner, now we just sit and talk at dinner. And it is so great. There's no time limit. There's no let's go watch the show now. I mean, we'll finish dinner and get the dishes done and then read or something. There's always something else to do. But it's been so nice to just sit and chat, kind of like we used to when we were, dating or engaged, where all you want to do is talk to each other. It's just been so fun. So that's been a little bit of a thing for us during Lent that I wanted to share with you. Have another little sip of my coffee. Okay, so I got to tell you about this stuff behind me. If you're just listening, let me describe it to you. I'm in my office with my nice Lindsay Litters calendar on the wall. Oh my gosh, please get my hand there. Lindsay Litters calendar, that's a normal fixture. My wedding bouquet, normal fixture. It's dried. Rug, not a normal fixture. Fake flowers, not a normal fixture. And there's lots of other stuff, but I'll just leave it like that. All of this is in my office because I am preparing for that hair again, you guys. Oh my. We are just weeks away from our women's event. So I am on the Life Restorations Ministry team for their women's events, women's gatherings. So this year we're having an event, and praise the Lord. Let's talk about that for a second. There will be no restrictions at all. No COVID restrictions at all for the weekend of our event. We are so thrilled to be able to gather together, and I just can't wait. So I'm so excited. And so my job on the team is that I'm in charge of the environment. So everything that you see is my responsibility. I work with Heather, of course. Life Restoration Ministries is Heather and Jake Kim's ministry. They are local. I am friends with them and love them to bits. And I honestly, it's like I get to decorate for a wedding every time we do this, but I don't have to pay for it. This is all part of the event budget, and they are so good about wanting excellent events, and they are such good leaders. I mean, I work with Heather specifically, so I'll talk about Heather a bit more, but she is such a great leader in that she sees a gift that you have and she wants to help you live that out. And my gift is visual stuff. I'm a photographer. The Lord has wired me that way to see beauty in different ways, to see light, to see how things come together, to see everything I can make beautiful things. And Heather has entrusted me to make her event beautiful, and this is just a piece of it. Okay, I cannot wait. I just keep touching these. Cannot wait for you to see what this event is going to look like. The theme, which will make sense to you, will make more sense probably, I told you that earlier. The theme is Graves into Gardens. It's an elevation worship song, and it's so beautiful. And I know that the Lord placed this theme on Heather's heart very strongly. We had an event we were going to do in 2020 called Brave. We didn't get to do it because of the pandemic. And we said, we'll table this, we'll put it on the shelf for now, and then our next event we can just pull it out, because we already had some of the design and like some of the structure for the event. And when Heather was planning for this event, that theme just did not sit quite right. So Graves into Gardens it is. And I personally feel like I've been experiencing this. And so when she shared this with us at the end of last year, as we were starting to plan as a team, there's a big team, you guys. It's not just like me putting pretty stuff on a stage. Like, it's a huge team of incredible women who have a heart for ministry and love to see women feel special and pampered. And that's exactly what life restoration events are like. So she shared this theme with us, and I remember thinking, oh gosh, this is hitting close to home, because I just gone through some very crazy stuff with my business. I mean, the pandemic has affected everyone differently, and it particularly affected my business last year. I kind of felt like my business was burning down. I haven't really shared much about that, and I think that's probably the level of detail I'm ready to share at this point, but my business was kind of burning down. It felt like it wasn't really, I don't think. I need definitely to think about more of the details before I share the details, but that's what I was feeling like, and I was seeing glimpses of beauty coming from that time, but I wasn't in it yet. And now, actually, in Lent, it's so interesting because I feel like now I'm seeing the beauty. You know, that in the song Graves into Gardens, it's you give beauty for ashes is one of the lines. And I just thought, the past few weeks I've been thinking, particularly with my Becoming Gold community, with my BG girls, I just love them so much. That has felt like I took the ashes of what I felt like had burned down, and I gave it to the Lord, and I said, I couldn't even say anything, just gave it to him, and I'm seeing the beauty come from it now. So this theme is just so close to my heart. And this song in particular, even last year around Easter, was just... The song has been an anthem for me. And I can't wait to have a whole event around this theme of graves into gardens. And so I don't share this with you just to explain why my office looks crazy, although it's pretty. Maybe not the cardboard, but the flowers, because we still have a few spots left open for this event. It is in Surrey, BC. I will link to the Life Restoration website where you can go and sign up. And please note that if you look at the price for the event and you're like, I just can't swing it, not on short notice kind of thing, we have bursaries available. When registration opened, we gave women a chance to donate money to help someone come to the event. And so many women were generous with their finances, and we have quite a bit of bursaries left. So if you're a student or money is just hard, or you're just tapped out, you can ask for a bursary. I'm pretty sure it's in the registration form. The event is April 8th and 9th. It's a Friday night and then a Saturday. And we have some great speakers coming as well. I mean, Heather Kim is speaking from the Abiding Together podcast, and Debbie Herbeck and Sarah Kazmarek. Gosh, I hope that was right. That's coming straight from memory. I'm not even looking at it. They were supposed to come to our event in 2020, and we didn't have it. So they're coming now, and they're giving an amazing talk. So that'll be great. And also just the experience too. I mean, I think you're just going to love it. I think you're going to love it. If you like flowers or plants, I think you're going to love it. You're going to love the experience that we're going to be able to offer you. Brandon has also been building some stuff for the event. So yeah, it's been a fun few weeks around here. That's like, sometimes I feel like Lent shouldn't feel fun, but it's been kind of fun. That is intimacy with the Lord. Intimacy with the Lord can be fun. That's what's been happening. So yeah, I'll link to the Abiding Together podcast in the notes. I could link to that. I will link to the Life Restoration event page in the notes, and you can sign up. We're closing registration on Friday. We extended it. We have just a few more spots left. But if you want to go, even if you don't know anyone else going, I'll be there. I will be there. So you'll know me. You'll at least know me. So please come. Consider this your formal, personalized invitation to come to the Graves into Gardens event. Another sip of coffee. Meetings. Okay, my mug, too. This is one of my longest lasting mugs. I don't know about you, but even if a mug says, that it's dishwasher safe, I find that the image kind of comes off sometimes. But this one is from... I went to... Where did we go? Oh, we went to Cannon Beach. This was back in university, back in my last year of university. Went on a road trip with some friends. We went down to Oregon. Where did we go? We went somewhere else. Because wherever the original Stumptown Coffee Roasters is, that's where we went for a couple of days. And brought my mug home. This was back when I drank real coffee. Now just decaf. I think they'd probably disown me if they knew that, but whatever. I had a third thing I wanted to talk about. I talked about Lent and no Netflix. Oh, yeah. I did want to talk about my Becoming Gold girls. Okay, so if you have no idea what I've been talking about, you know that this podcast is called Becoming Gold. And that's been a theme in my life for years and years. All about refinement and becoming like pure gold, like the refiner's fire, going through fire, the not fun stuff, and coming out more beautiful and more brilliant, more like gold, the way that God intended for me to be, for us to be. So this month of March, I opened up a community called the Becoming Gold community for engaged women. And I had them fill out a survey at the beginning asking them, what do you need help with in this season of life? What's your biggest challenge? What's one thing you'd want to talk about, as we have our time together and as you're preparing for marriage? And when I asked them all those things, a few themes emerged. And so I've been making videos for them based on those themes. And this month we did, the themes are preparing your heart for marriage, wedding planning, and practical tips for newlywed life. So I did a video on preparing your heart for marriage. I made a video about what does it mean to be a wife. And then for wedding planning, we talked all about ways to save money on your wedding. And so the video I posted last week on YouTube and the episode on Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, was things that you should spend money on. So that was kind of call and response. And then the third one that was just this week was practical tips for newlywed life. And we talked about realistic expectations for intimacy. And that, it's been going well, I think. The girls have been starting to chat a bit more with each other. It's not all just, it is really focused on all that content. But, we have a little introduction post and everyone's been kind of posting about who they are. And some of the girls have, at the beginning of the month were like, I'm almost engaged. Not quite yet. And now they're engaged and we get to see all their new rings and just be excited for them and their now fiancés. And it's just been fun to really connect on a deeper level. I'm off Instagram and I think that's been helpful because I don't know how much I was really connecting there for the last little bit, just because there's just so much happening in the world. And often I feel like social media becomes like a place where you have to share your opinion on what's happening. And that's not what I use it for. And I don't intend to use it to hear, it's not even that I'm hearing news, it's that I'm hearing people's opinion on the news or people's opinion on someone's opinion. And I don't find that helpful for me. But I do find the actual connection part of social media beautiful. And I think that's what I've really been loving about the Becoming Gold community this month is that it's not social media. We have our own little app, and so you don't have to be on Facebook or Instagram or anything to be part of this group. You can just go specifically to the group and check and contribute conversation and talk to each other. It's got a little private messaging thing in there too. So it's been fun to connect with people in that way. And that's been really, it's just been really a beautiful time for me, especially after just months of, again, feeling like I was sitting in a pile of ashes. And now I feel like, I'm literally sitting with flowers in a garden, but my heart feels like it's sitting in a garden again. And that's been really special. So I think that's about all I have for this little life chat, little life update, little life chat with Laura Ann. And I would love to hear from you. I'll put my email in the notes because I'm not on Instagram right now, but I'll put my email in there. And if you want to also sit in your sweatpants with your cup of tea and send me an email, I will happily receive it and respond. And I look forward to connecting with you a little bit more. I think that'd be really fun. Also, you can tell me if you want to hear about something on the show specifically. I know that I've kind of been all over the place with topics and resources, different formats of things, and it's just been fun for me to be exploring what this space can hold. I know that I started out with the intention that this would be a place for interviews with married couples, and I have not forgotten that. That's for sure a thing. But I am just following wherever inspiration strikes, because it's fun and I want my work to be fun. I want to actually look forward to my work and be able to do it for you, to be able to serve you with things that will be helpful or inspirational, or just like today, just a little bit different from well, I don't know. It's just like we're hanging out, and I kind of like that. Because I'd love to hang out with all of you, but we don't all live in the same place. So the internet it is. Okay, okay. Last sip of the show. I'm going to go finish this afterwards. Thanks for hanging out. It's been fun. And I will see you next week.